So this is attempt 2 at my Game of Thrones review. Just a little update. My computer died, and that is why I haven't made any videos for a very long time. I thought about it, and I don't know what that was. Okay. Sorry. I haven't made videos in a very long time because my computer died. And I had thought about it, but I just got busy with break and finals and all that, so I never made any videos. And so now I'm going to review Game of Thrones, which I reread over break, and I'm going to pretend that you guys know nothing about Game of Thrones. You haven't seen the TV show, you haven't read the book, or whatever. So I'm just going to talk, and my likes, dislikes, etc., etc. One thing, I might end up talking about the comparisons and differences between the television show and the book. Most of the characters in this novel are 15, 16, or younger. The books, or the chapters, are by point of view character. They're in this book, there's Catelyn, who's the mom, Ned, or Eddard, who's the dad. They are married. And then there's Tyrion, who is the brother of the Queen Cersei and the brother of the Kingslayer, Jaime. I'm going to try and not do spoilers. And then there's Arya and Sansa, and there is Bronn, who are all Stark children. And then there's Daenerys. I don't really like, but whatever. I think that's everyone. Yeah, I think that's everyone. Just flipping through my book to make sure. So it's pretty early on that the characters get separated. If you watch the television show while you're reading, like I did the first time, you can actually like find a list of like episode and then chapters or whatever that the episode covers. And if you do that, you will actually begin to notice what POV character it is in the book. Like, for example, I haven't read the second or third book, but just from watching the show and knowing the point of view characters, I can watch the show and know, oh, this is going to be in this person's chapter. However, the show doesn't really follow that all the way because sometimes there's scenes where there's not a point of view character and it's completely made up by the writers or George R.R. Martin or whatever. All the characters besides Tyrion, well, point of view characters, excuse me. Tyrion is 25, I believe, in the book. Catelyn is around 35, and so is Ned. So 33, 35, somewhere in there. And then Sansa's 11, I believe. Arya is 9, and then Bronn is 7. And then Daenerys is 13. However, in the television show, they are all aged up at least 2 years. Daenerys is 16. Robb and Catelyn are both 40. Tyrion's like 30, I think. Bronn is 9. No. 9, 8, 9, and then Arya is 10, I think, and then 10 or 11, and then Sansa's 13. And then Daenerys is 16, and then the older Stark children are, I think, at least 17, 18. So that's a big difference. Seeing as it is, I've reread this book, I do like it, and I like the book more than I like the television show. I'm gonna say that because of the fact that HBOizes it, and I'm sure you know what that means if you've ever watched a television show on HBO. There is sex in the book. Don't get me wrong, because there is. However, it's not as all throughout. There are a couple scenes, that's it, and a couple references. That's one big difference in my opinion. And then it just, I don't know. Once you watch the show, you get used to it, but otherwise, it's just like, oh, why? So I really do like this book, and I'm trying not to do any spoilers, but I'll read the back to you guys. This is my big paperback American edition, because I'm American. Here is the first volume in George R.R. Martin's magnificent cycle of novels that includes A Clash of Kings, which I'm currently on, A Storm of Swords, and A Feast for Crows, and A Dance of Dragons. It doesn't say that, but it's included. And then Winds for Winter, and then Something for Spring, I believe is A Song of Spring, maybe, is what 6 and 7 are called. As a whole, this series comprises a genuine, masterpiece of modern fantasy, bringing together the best the genre has to offer. Magic, mystery, intrigue, romance, and adventure fill these pages and transport us to a world unlike any we have ever experienced. Already hailed as a classic, George R.R. Martin's stunning series is destined to stand as one of the greatest achievements of imaginative fiction. Long ago, in a time forgotten, a pre-internatural event threw the seasons out of balance. In a land where summers can last decades and winters a lifetime, trouble is brewing. The cold is returning, and in the frozen wastes to the north of Winterfell, sinister and supernatural forces are massing beyond the kingdom's protective wall. At the center of the conflict lie the Starks of Winterfell, a family as harsh and unyielding as the land they were born to. I can't talk. Sweeping from a land of brutal cold to a distant summertime kingdom of Epicurean plenty, here is a tale of lords and ladies, soldiers and sorcerers, assassins and bastards, who come together in time of grim omens. Here is an enigmatic, I'm sorry guys, I really am, I can't talk, band of warriors bear swords of no man-made metal. A tribe of fierce wildlings carry men off into madness. A cruel young dragon prince barters his sister to win back his throne, and a determined woman undertakes the most treacherous of journeys. Amid plots and counterplots, tragedy and betrayal, victory and terror, the fate of the Starks, their allies, and their enemies hangs perilously in the balance, as each endeavor to win that deadliest of conflicts, the Game of Thrones. Also, I forgot the POV character. It's Jon. Jon Snow, Arya, Sansa, Bronn are the 4 Stark children that are POV characters, and then there's Tyrion, Catelyn, and then Ned. So, now, my opinions on the book. I love George R.R. Martin's writing. I really do. There are some things that when I originally read it, I was like, what is this? What am I getting myself into? But, I don't know, maybe about halfway through the book, you start getting a really good plot. And those who have watched the television show or read the book know what the plot is. I'm not going to say it, but let's just say there's a major plot point that just goes, and you're like, oh, snap. And it just kind of goes from there. I like the book more than the television show, if I haven't said that already. This is my second video, so I don't know what I've said. However, the television show is good on its own. I believe that the television show is very loyal to the book. The first book, anyway. I have not read the second book or the third book, so I don't know how loyal they are when it comes to that. One thing that I like about the big paperbacks, I'm just going to talk about the big paperbacks versus the small paperbacks and the hardcovers. In the small paperbacks, you open and then you have to flip, and the maps are like this big on an itty tiny page, and they're side by side, and it's just the north and the south, which you kind of. I've been playing the board game, so I know the map by now. But when you're originally a reader, it's really hard to understand who's going where and doing what and when all of that. So we provide maps for you. So this is the north, and then on the back cover is the south. And it continues to be like that, and then other maps are flippable in the other books. I'm not going to get them and show you, but yeah. There's also a whole map book you could buy if you really wanted to. I was going to say something. Oh, one thing that I would say is when I first read the book, I found the book very confusing. There are a lot of characters that are hard to fully understand who's who and doing what, and this and that. And in that regard, I would recommend watching the show while you read the book, because it really does help. It really helps get a visual of who's who, because there are a lot of characters. There really are. I would read the book and watch the show at the same time. I mean, it's as simple as that, in my opinion. And then if you don't want, I don't know. I mean, you can watch season 2 and season 3, but I didn't do it, but I wanted to do it. I wanted to read book 2 and book 3 before I watched, but my dad was like, you know nothing about Game of Thrones, and then he made me watch them all in 3 days. All except 5 episodes. So, yeah. I don't really know if this is just me rambling or if it's actually a review, but I really like George R. R. Martin's writing, as I've said. I like the characters. Well, I like most of the characters. I do not really like Daenerys' storyline at all. I don't really like Bronn, but you get what you get. So, I like the world. I like the world building that he has done, and I cannot wait to get the I guess the encyclopedia guide to the world, which comes out I think in November. I also can't wait till season 4, but I am trying to get to the book 3 before season 4 comes out, and I'm really sorry about the background noises. My dorm room. One thing that is a big change is obviously the character ages in the show and the book. I like them younger, in my opinion. Some things I'll have to talk about in a different video whenever I get to that point, but some things I think it might be better if they're aged up, but otherwise I like them younger. It's really not that big of a difference anyway, but I guess just for the show and for certain scenes, they change the character ages so they can have actors of age and they can do whatever. I think that's really about it. I'm just rambling at this point, I swear. I have no classes tomorrow because there's a blizzard coming, basically, or winter is coming. And so I don't have class till Wednesday, and today's Monday, and I'm going to probably either watch season 2 or read. I'm not really sure. I'm on episode 5, I think, of the show. I'm not 100%. I think I am though. So I'm gonna let you guys go. I'll see you guys in the next video, which hopefully will be coming soon. Might come this weekend, maybe, if I can read fast enough. And that will be over A Clash of Kings, which is very interesting. And before I go, I will read you the back of A Clash of Kings. So, in case you want to read more, okay, I'm gonna skip some lines. A comet the color of blood and flame cuts across the sky. Two guys, who I won't say, who held sway over an age of enforced peace are dead, victims of royal treachery. Now, from the ancient citadel of Dragonstone to the forbidding shores of Winterfell, chaos reigns. 6 factions struggle for control of the divided land and the Iron Throne of the Seven Kingdoms, preparing to stake their claims through tempest, turmoil, and war. It is a tale in which brother plots against brother, and the dead rise to walk in the night. Here, a princess masquerades as an orphan boy. A knight of the mind prepares a poison for a treacherous sorceress. And wild men descend the mountains of the moon to ravage the countryside. Against the backdrop of incest and fratricide, alchemy and murder, victory may go to the men and women possessed of the coldest steel and the coldest hearts. For when the kings clash, the whole land trembles. And that is A Clash of Kings. And I'm on like page 6 of the 20-page prologue. Also, just for the record, this size paperback, while it's a little bit more expensive, it's like $20 in store, and then if you get the book set, it's like 50-ish, 53-ish, I don't know. The font is so much more reasonable than the itty bitty tiny paperback, and then the maps, as I've mentioned, are a lot bigger, and it's just a lot easier to look at. And I'll show you the other maps in this. Well, if there are any. I don't know if there are. No, there are not any other maps. So, yeah. The font's bigger. Totally glad about those. So, yeah, I'm gonna let you guys go, and I'll talk to you guys next time, and hopefully there will be a video up this weekend. Yay! And if it's not for A Clash of Kings, then it might be for the art books that I ordered. So, I'm gonna upload this video now, and then go lay in bed and watch Game of Thrones, and then read and stay up all night because I'm an insomniac. And yeah, I don't know. I don't have class tomorrow. It's gonna be really cold, so I'm gonna just sit in my bed all day. So, yeah, bye guys.